All right, class. First off, as always, good day. Glad you're here. So today, what we're talking about is basically the post World War One. Okay. Now, I know it seems like forever ago, but last time we were in class, we were talking about the end of World War One. Okay. Now we're going to be talking about the agreements that happened, um, the treaty that was signed, things like that. Um, and we'll be talking a little bit about how some events happened that basically really came at a really, really bad time. Okay. So before we move on, I did mention this in the class that we had online during the Zoom meeting. But I would strongly suggest that if you have a computer, if you have a laptop, that you watch these lecture videos on YouTube, put it like like not minimize it, but like put half of it on the screen and the other half put on the Google Forms, which is in your Google Classroom for me. Okay, and that way when you watch the video you can have the questions on one side, and as you're listening, as you're seeing, and as I'm explaining what's happening, you can see the question I'm going to ask, and you'll be like, okay, right there and then I can answer because I heard it, and things like that. And you already developed an opinion, you already developed an idea, and then from there you can write it on the Google form. So it'll save you a little bit more time, and it's while it's still fresh in your head. Okay. So with that being said, here is your warm-up picture. So if you do have the Google form already to the side, um, you'll see the picture and the questions are right underneath it. So first off, it says like, what are things you see? Okay. Again, it says there like should be like the minimum of three things that you see. So again, you have to have at least three things. If you want to put more, fine. If you want to put everything that you see on there, that's great. But minimum three. Okay. Then there's the second question. Okay. And so go ahead and answer that. Pause the video because we're going to go into the notes. Right. In three, two, one. All right, so I had to move the video thing a little bit so you can really see this political cartoon. Okay, so U.S. President Woodrow Wilson, he knew that uh, in World War One peace settlement, it was going to be kind of unfair in a sense, a little miscued. One side is going to be like, oh, we want this, we want that, this and that, and I don't give a care how you provide it for us, we want it, things like that. Um, and that would cause some tension in the future because, like people are, if someone slaps you in the face and yet, hey, they have like all their buddies with them, you may not attack, but if they're by themselves, you might just go after them, you know. So that's the thing. Wilson knew it might come down to that. So uh, to avoid this, what he said was, let's do this League of Nations. Basically, the big countries getting together and saying, you attack one of us, you attack all of us. Okay, so that way, again, that if a country, let's say like Germany, wanted to attack France, now that the war's over, France is by themselves. If they try to attack France, France could then be like, hey, Britain, Russia, United States, come on, you know, and that would stop any of country from attacking the bigger countries because again, they are the dominant people. Okay. Um, but the thing is, a lot of European countries like the idea. Yeah, that's great. We should all band together. But there was a problem. The United States um, didn't want to be part of it. Now, again, Wilson wanted to. It was his baby, it's his idea. But as you can see from this political cartoon, how Americans felt that the League of Nations would do to the United States. If you can't see back there, it says the guy in the back says England. To the side says Empire of Japan. On the bottom right here, it says foreign nations, and the other side is European nations. Now, if you can't see, they all have a bind on the United States. Okay, so basically it's saying if we join the League of Nations, all these other countries are basically going to have us in a bind when something they did is going to affect us when we have nothing to do with them. That's their thing over there. They want to mess around. They want to cause problems. That's on them. That should not be on us. Still to this day, there's people who believe that we should take care of ourselves, let everybody else handle their own things, um, and you're going to see in a little bit why that may not be a good thing. Okay, again, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but to be logical and to say, oh, if we do this, and this is definitely going to happen, because because I think that's a problem. Okay, you have to look at history and how it plays out, and you're going to see in a second how it's more likely is going to play out. So the United States Senate did not approve the Treaty of Versailles. So everyone else said, yeah, we agree to it. The United States said no. And since the league was pretty weak, um, those who did join, um, they basically had an agreement saying, you know what, we're not going to be aggressive to another country. We'll still have each other's backs, but we're not going to be attacking, because we've already went through one world war. We don't want another. So if you know your history a little bit, you already know what's going to happen next. Okay. So move on to the next thing of notes. Oh yeah, I forgot I put this one in. So the map you see right here, sorry, to your left, sorry, um, that's how the world was before World War One. How it is on to your right, that is the map uh, after World War One. Countries like, as you can see, Yugoslavia. Look at Austria-Hungary. Look how Austria-Hungary looked on the map before World War One, and now look at it afterwards, and you can see that they lost a large chunk of their country. Germany, you know, lost some parts. It became Poland. You know, you got like East Prussia, Lithuania, Estonia. Um, you got Romania. Bulgaria uh, looks a little bit bigger. Just a tad bit. Yugoslavia, you know, like I said, just bam, right there for you. Another country. Okay, there we go. So the thing is, France was very, very upset with Germany, and they demanded strict enforcement on the Treaty of Versailles, specifically one part, which basically was the reparations, the repayment. They wanted their money from Germany right there and then. No ands or buts about it. I don't want to hear it. You pay us back our money. We need to rebuild. We're in a desperate situation. Pay us our money. They're kind of like, I don't know if you've seen the little clip of Stewie beating up on Brian saying, give my money, man, give my money. Same thing. They want their money. All right. And under the Treaty of Versailles, Germany agreed to pay money to, Britain, France, and people like that. So in 1921, France demanded the reparations to fix the country. And basically, Germany owed 132 billion marks. Marks, that's the name of the German money. Okay. Because again, we have dollars in like Mexico's pesos. In Canada, it's called loonie. All right. Different countries have different names for their money. England's but pound, things like that. So in Germany, it's called marks. So that would be equivalent to 33 billion US dollars. Okay. Now, the thing is, Germany's like, okay, fine. You want your money? We're going to give you some money back. And they start making the payments in 1921, the year France wanted it. Right? So they start making the payments. But the problem was the following year, 1922, there was some financial crisis in Germany. Now, again, France is like, we don't want to hear any of your excuses. We want our money. And Germany's like, you don't understand. You don't get it. Our We're having a crisis right now. We're going to talk about the crisis later on. Exactly. And France is like, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I don't care. So they decide, you know what? If they won't pay us our money, we'll get it from them. Okay. Now look on this map over here. Okay. Um, you can see right there Germany in that kind of beige, flesh tone color. That kind of lime green color, that's still Germany. But the thing is, because of the Treaty of Versailles, they could not have soldiers in that area, okay, to make the other countries, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Switzerland, France, make them feel comfortable. Like, these guys would have to march from this side to this side. And by then, if they try to do something, we would know about it, you know. So France decided to march into the Ruhr. I have trouble saying that. It's that one with the Ruhr, Ruhr um, area. Now, the Ruhr Valley was known for being Germany's like money maker. It was the place where they had industry. It was the place where they had mining. They would dig up, coal and copper, silver, whatever it may have been. That's the place where it was. That's the headquarters of them making money from natural resources. And France is like, that's ours. We're going to go get it. We're going to take it. We want our money now. All right, so here is your couple questions right now. First off, do you think France had the right to invade the Ruhr Valley? So, what do you think? Okay, now I put these different colors to show you how you can basically use the question to make an answer. Okay, again, we're trying to teach you guys how to to write complete sentences. Okay, so I'm giving you the writing prompt right there. When you respond on your Google Forms, write the whole thing down. Okay, write it all down. Okay, so again, like I'm showing you, do you think France had a right to invade the Ruhr Valley? You can see think and France right there in the response. I think that France, and this is where your opinion comes in, the red part. Do you think they did or didn't? That's for you to decide. What do you think? Did they have the right to invade or didn't they? Then write that part. And then you're using that other part of the question for the answer. I think that France didn't have the right to invade the Ruhr Valley because, and then again, the red section, your opinion. Okay. But remember, when you give your opinion, back it up. That's what, yeah, because they did. What kind of response is that? No, no. Okay, so back it up, give it some logical thinking. Actually, sit back and think for a second. Did they really have a right to march through some countries, right, to get to the rural area and say that's ours? Okay. The second part is this, because we're talking about Germany and they're saying, hey, we have a financial crisis. We're trying to get things together. So my question to you is this: do you think Germany has more of an obligation? Now, I don't know if you guys know what the word obligation means. If you don't, here it is. If you do, good job. Just keep reading it and respond to it. Obligation basically means you have to do something. You have to do it. That's nothing else is above that. That's what it is. You know. So do they have more of an obligation to repay their debts first or take care of their people. Because again, remember, they're in a financial crisis. They're going to need their money. So do you think that they have more of an obligation? They have their their focus should be more on repaying France and other countries, or is it to take care of their own people? So what do you think? Again, the writing prompts on the bottom, use the writing prompt. I think that Germany had more of an obligation to pay their debt, have more obligation to take care of their people because, and then explain why did you choose that one. Okay, so back up your ideas, back up your thoughts. Okay, we're going to be moving on to the next part of the notes. Okay, so in response to the French basically being in the Ruhr Valley, Germany industry and factory workers, industry and mining workers, were basically like, you know what? We're not going to work for them. You crazy? You know, they want us so bad. Let them mine the stuff. Let them work the machines. We're out of here. Forget them. Okay. Um, and the thing is, you have to remember, some French people were actually like, those Germans, they just don't want to pay us. They're full of crap about, there being in a financial crisis. In reality, they really were. They were hurting pretty bad. Okay. Because you have to remember, um, not only did they destroy other cities in World War One, their area was also destroyed. You know, the fighting wasn't just in France and stuff like that; it was also in Germany. So their area was pretty destroyed as well, and they really were in a financial crisis. So, in order to pay their workers, the German government said, you know what, we don't really have enough money. And this is a problem that I hear a lot of people talk about. That's saying, oh, well, if we don't have enough money, just print more money. That will solve everything. No, guys, no, that does not solve everything. That actually hurts you more. That hurts the economy, your nation's economy. In our economy right now, that's the worst thing you can do is basically print out more money. Okay. Uh, and because here's the thing, it's like, let's say this phone, let's say my phone right here, it is the only type of phone there is like this in the world. The value of this is going to be astronomical, right? Because why? It's the only one. But if there's 700 millions of these just laying around everywhere, let's say 700 billion of them just laying around everywhere, you turn your back and there's 40 of them staring at you. Um, what's the value of this going to be? Nothing. Basically nothing. Why? Because you could pick it up anywhere. Okay. And the thing is, back then, their money was tied into the gold system. So, however much money you printed out, there was gold there to back it up. So, if you just print out a bunch of money, that means that that value of that dollar is going to go down because there's only so much gold that you have that you can back up with that dollar. So, let's say you have £1,000,000 and someone brings the money and saying, I want half of that. And because it's worth that much, they get half of that gold. Okay. Because again, that dollar was worth that much in gold. And same thing back then. So when they print out more money, they made the value of the dollar or their marks go smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where it was basically nothing. Here's an example right here. In 1914, uh, for $1, you got 4.2 marks. Okay, so for $1 US, you got four, basically four the German dollars, right? Okay. In November 1923, $1 equaled 130 billion marks. Again, let me repeat that. $1 equaled 130 billion marks. That could fill up my apartment. Now you would think, oh, I'm rich, I have all this money. No, you just basically have a bunch of trash, dollars worth of trash in your apartment, near your place. It's worthless. And here's where it gets even worse. Later on that month, before the month ends in 1923, in that November, one US dollar was $4.2 trillion. I should say marks. Okay. Again, do not think, oh, because the amount you have, that means you're rich. No. Again, it's like having these tissue paper, some of that just laying around. It's worthless. I'm using this right now for my water, for a coaster in a sense. That's all it would be worth. It was worthless. Okay? It doesn't matter the number, it matters the value of the item. Now, how much you have, it's how much it was worth. And at this point, the German mark, is worthless. It's like trash. And that's where this picture right here, these kids are playing with basically, several 100,000 marks. That's just the bills, actual bills, not the value of it. And they're just playing with it. Each kid has bricks of money, right? And they're just stacking them up, making a little tower, things like that. Again, because it's worthless. Okay. Now the thing is, once it gets really, really bad, France realizes, oh, they weren't lying about them being in a financial crisis. Yeah, we don't want your money right now because again, it's trash. It's like this. It's basically you can wipe your nose with it and toss it away. You you get more value out of it than actually like taking it to a bank. Okay, so um, and the thing is, the Germans didn't want to have worthless money. They didn't want to have this money. It was basically like drawing paper or like, you can wipe your nose with. So what happened is in August 1924, um, a new reparation plan was set up, and it was called the Dawes Plan. Okay, now it was named after the chairman of the commission to basically find a solution to this problem, and the dude was an American banker, believe it or not. Now, the Dawes Plan basically gave Germany $200 million. So if you look at the little graph right there, the United States would lend Germany $200 million to help their economy. So again, that would bring up their dollar. So instead of it being like one US dollar to like $14 trillion, it would bring it down to like, in the thousands, or maybe millions. So it would help them out quite a bit. Germany would then use their tax money to, now that it has more oomph to it, now they can use that money to pay back France. Now France is like, okay, their money is not as worthless anymore. So now we'll take your money to get rid of your debt. And then France would pay back the war loans to the United States. And that way we can get our money back in a sense. So it's a little function, like this. It's just going around helping everyone in a sense. Um, but this also led to some little backroom deals, and it basically allowed the United States citizens and companies to invest in Europe. So they're like, you know what? Now that Germany's getting back on their feet, maybe we can like invest in some companies over there, maybe make some money, put some invest in some companies in France, make some money. And the thing is, this brought some relief to Europe because again, they're torn up. Their cities, their countrysides are devastated because of the war. But now that Americans are investing in their companies, they're going to be making some money. and they're making money, that means people are going to get jobs, people can have money, people can spend, people can rebuild, the government will get money, the government can rebuild, the government can help out their citizens, and things are just going to get better. But this only lasted about 5 years, from 1924 to 1929, because something happens in October 1929, and it's something that Europeans don't see coming really. All right, so here is your questions. So critical thinking. So think of one reason why should a country like the United States help out other countries in economic troubles? So why should we help out another country like France and Germany and Britain and Ethiopia, Yugoslavia, just different countries? Why should we help them out? Okay, so that's one question. Another question, same thing, but just reverse. What is one reason why we shouldn't help out another country who is in economic trouble? And why is that important? Okay, so you have the why should we and then why shouldn't we help out countries who are in economic trouble? Okay, so really sit down, think about it, and think how things worked out in Germany, what we just talked about. But think of also some bad things that might happen. What could happen? All right, so think of good things and think of a bad thing. What might happen? Okay, and then back it up. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. Hopefully, you learned something new. Um, I just want to say, guys, um, it's I've always had fun teaching you guys. It's I miss this. I miss you guys so much, and I hope you guys really hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are taking precaution. Um, and again, I miss you guys, and I hope you guys are doing safe. Please, help out your family. You know, if your mom wants you to or dad wants you to clean up, help out around the place. Please do so, guys. They need help as well. Doing things and just understand that the situation everyone's in. And again, I miss you guys, and hopefully I get to see you guys again. All right, you guys have to take care. Be safe. I'll see you guys later.